Citi News.
97.3 Citi FM, you're welcome to the midweek edition of the Citi Prime News. We're broadcasting live from our studios here in Accra. This afternoon, President Mahama inaugurates 12-member Presidential Economic Advisory Group as part of measures to sustain recent economic gains.
Your council is therefore expected to be frank, independent, evidence-based, and anchored in the long-term national interest.
Meanwhile, cocoa sector to dominate discussions as Cabinet convenes today over cocoa board indebtedness and recent troubles within the cocoa value chain.
We failed to raise sustainable funding for cocoa and the cocoa board's capacity to syndicate effectively, something it had done successfully since the early 1990s.
Also in this bulletin, NDC candidate for upcoming Ayawasu East by-election Baba Jamal files his nomination after securing party clearance following allegations of vote buying.
So the question everybody should ask is that, what is your motivation? Why? What is your motivation? Why are you here? I am not motivated by material things. I'm motivated by human service. I am not materialistic.
And later, equipment breakdowns leave only 8 ambulances operational in Bono region.
If we look at Bono region, we're giving 14 ambulances. At the beginning of 2025, 8 of them were down with engine problems.
All that and more coming up in this edition of the Citi Prime News, which is live in the Western region on Premier 100.5 FM, Sky Power 93.5 FM, and Beach 105.5 FM, all in Takoradi. In the Bono region, the news is live on J Live 95.5 FM in Sunyai. In the Ashanti region, we're on Orange FM 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, the Citi Prime News is on Akpene Radio 96.7 FM in Pando and Heritage FM 107.3 in Hohoi.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
I am Charles Osukume, grateful to you for your time here on the Citi Prime News this afternoon. Let us begin from the presidency, where President John Dramani Mahama has inaugurated 12-member Presidential Advisory Group on the economy, defending his decision to constitute the body. At the inauguration, he says the advisory group is not new, recalling a similar team that operated under the late President John Evans Atta Mills. The president explained that the group will offer guidance on sectoral development, private sector expansion, investment mobilization, and job creation.
Your council is therefore expected to be frank, independent, evidence-based, and anchored in the long-term national interest. PAGE is not new to our governance architecture. It existed under the late President Professor John Evans Atta Mills, and also during my earlier tenure in office. And it returns today expanded and strengthened to reflect the evolving complexity of our economy. The current PAGE configuration allows us to streamline economic governance by eliminating the overlapping structures, including the former economic management team. My vice president, who is a member of PAGE, will chair meetings in my absence in accordance with constitutional responsibility. PAGE will operate alongside the Economic Policy Coordinating Committee, EPCC, which is jointly chaired by the Minister for Finance and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, which remains a critical technical platform. I encourage continued coordination among these bodies to achieve efficiency, coherence, and cost-effective governance.
Now, President Mahama further stressed the need to rebuild fiscal buffers and maintain policy consistency to avoid a return to domestic debt haircuts and renewed economic instability.
We are all qualified and experienced enough to know that we face a tough road ahead, regardless of the progress we may have chalked up to date. As a nation, we find ourselves again in debt distress after having previously declared HIPIC and solemnly assuring ourselves that we will never return to such a position. That experience should have permanently altered our fiscal culture. Unfortunately, instead, we dissipated significant buffers and stabilizers that would have shielded our citizens from the painful domestic debt haircuts that they ultimately had to endure. We must confront this reality honestly. After investing in 3 oil fields and positioning ourselves as an emerging petroleum economy, we allowed policy inconsistency and investor uncertainty to drive existing and potential investors to competing jurisdictions. Our task now is correction without amnesia, learning from both our success and our failures.
You heard President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. Now, Cabinet is set to convene an emergency meeting to address issues within the cocoa sector. Now, ahead of that meeting, the President has expressed disappointment over what he described as the country's inability to secure sustainable funding for cocoa, which has significantly weakened Cocoa Board's long-standing ability to raise syndicated funding.
Our handling of state-owned enterprises has also been uneven and at times haphazard. Weak governance frameworks, political interference, and inadequate financial discipline undermined institutions that were once engines of stability and credibility. We failed to raise sustainable funding for cocoa and the Cocoa Board's capacity to syndicate effectively, something it had done successfully since the early 1990s. And this was severely impaired. These are not points of blame, they are lessons in responsibility.
John Dramani Mahama is, of course, the President of the Republic. Now, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, who serves as a member of that Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy and will chair the group in the absence of the President, has called on the team to place Ghanaians at the heart of its deliberations. He says the group's work must respond directly to the cost of living, ensure fair prices in the markets, and protect the welfare of workers across sectors.
For us to constantly reflect on what the term the economy should mean to our fellow citizens. Beyond an abstract concept, it should mean many things, including the following: stability for the teacher in the classroom and the nurse on night duty, fair prices and reliable markets for the farmer, predictable costs and access to credit to the trader and small business owner, stable incomes and affordable housing and transport for the worker, opportunities and skills for the young person, especially the women, security for the laborer, and decent care for the elderly. In short, our task is sobering. That is, to conceptualize the kind of support that makes their economy feel less distant and more everyday possibility.
Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Meanwhile, government says it is establishing an independent fiscal council to strengthen financial oversight after Ghana exits the IMF program with the International Monetary Fund. Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Nyakwampim says the council will provide advisory support on fiscal controls and decision-making to enhance domestic accountability and financial discipline. For matters of the economy, the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso East, Baba Jamal Ahmed Mohammed, has defended his decision to relinquish his post as Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria to contest the March 3 by-election. Speaking to supporters, Baba Jamal dismissed claims that he is motivated by personal gain, revealing that he earned a monthly salary of $12,000 along with additional allowances including $600 for telephone expenses while serving in Nigeria. He reaffirmed his commitment to the constituency, noting that his ambition is rooted in service rather than material gain.
MP, the condition of serving, mine is 3 times that of an MP. But I have decided to leave all and come and serve my people. So the question everybody should ask is that, what is your motivation? I am not motivated by material things. I'm motivated by human service. I am not materialistic because omo kasa asem nyina no or can say hey baba like me colleague bi owo Brazil or say or friend me baba I hear you are going back to Nima. I said yes. I said, hey, the salary is good oh. This is our condition, you want to leave it? I say yes, I'm leaving it because I'm not motivated by material things. Please, if it's about money, then I'll stay in Nigeria. Look at all these largesse. Apart from that, do you believe that if me fee Abuja, me decide say me go visit me office in Nigeria, and I'm go visit me coordinator or Kano, and I'm go visit me coordinator or Anambra, and a baby. Every day I spend out there, I'm giving $540, $47. My telephone allowance, $600. So yes, all the material things are good. Sabi, mo ambassador be a wako di 2-3 years a waba wadani here nida. Sabi, unless so you kwasi mpeni. But pass wako di owa because at the end of the month, you know, all what I buy from my $12,000 is food.
You heard the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso East, Baba Jamal. Well, he just filed his nomination to contest that March 3 by-election. We understand the NPP's candidate, Baba Ali, has also filed to contest that particular by-election. Well, let's stay with the NDC. Political analyst Michael Kosi Dede has criticized the NDC, accusing the party of political expediency. The criticism follows the party's decision to clear Baba Jamal to contest the Ayawaso East by-election. Now, speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily Show, he says the NDC stance reinforces a growing culture in which delegates expect money in exchange for their votes.
So the NDC, by that, has admitted that there was a wrongdoing or something not right about the process. But the same party then says that we are unable or we consider political expediency above acting properly. So we are clearing the candidates to contest. So that sends a contradictory message. One, you acknowledge that something is not right. And I would have thought that the NDC, having this kind of majority it has in parliament, has the best of opportunities to say that we are going to wipe the slate clean and ensure that things improve. But clearly, they think that political expediency is better under the circumstances. And I think it's a message to all Ghanaians and to all the delegates who said, look, if you don't give us money, we will not contest, we will not vote. It also confirms their position.
That was Michael Kosi Dede. He is a political analyst. He was speaking earlier on Breakfast Daily program on Channel 1 TV. Well, still on the NDC and the upcoming Ayawaso East by-election, anti-corruption crusader Vitus Azim says he is not surprised that the NDC has maintained Baba Jamal as its candidate for that Ayawaso East election. He claims that all sitting MPs have been involved in vote buying and therefore have no moral grounds to implicate Baba Jamal. Vitus Azim believes that at the very least, some form of sanctions should have been imposed to demonstrate the party's commitment to fighting corruption.
When they said they were going to probe it, I already said that it was not practical. One, none of the parliamentarians, even current parliamentarians, can claim that they never paid money to delegates for the primaries. Secondly, there's a timeline for the election, the by-election. So if you annul the elections today, when are you going to call for a filing of new nominations, vetting the candidates, and then having a by-election before the day of the actual by-election? So it was not practical. I didn't expect anything out of it. So as anticipated, that's what has happened. But you see, the point is, there was no point wasting time to do this probe if they did not intend to do anything about it. What they can do at least is to sanction the person. Even if you are not annulling the by-election, the primaries, you can sanction maybe a fine or something. Otherwise, it will just cause 90 zero work. It doesn't change people's perception about the corruption in our political sphere.
Vitus Azim is an anti-corruption crusader. Well, ahead of that Ayawaso East by-election, we understand the Electoral Commission is currently in an Inter-Party Advisory Committee IPAC meeting. 2 representatives from each political party are participating in that meeting as requested by the Electoral Commission in its invitation letter. According to our sources here at Citi News, the parties present include the New Patriotic Party, the National Democratic Congress, the Convention People's Party, and the Ghana Freedom Party. The meeting will discuss, among other issues, the modalities leading up to that election, including the printing of ballot papers. The election is scheduled for March 3, 2026. Now, executives of the National Democratic Congress in the Tema Central constituency have locked up a local office of the National Health Insurance Scheme in protest over what they describe as unfair appointments. The action was led by constituency chairman Benjamin Jakuma. Speaking to Citi News, constituency organizer Abdul Razak Mohammed Mutawakil says the process of appointments lacked transparency and sidelined the leadership within the constituency.
We have sent, the party has not been consulted. So that is all that we are asking. We should sit on the round table and make sure proper thing is done. Are you getting me? We will not work for somebody to come and take over. We are not, all of us, we are NDC people. But we have NDC more than NDC, I'll tell you. When you think, come and be executive, and you see how you will be having sleepless nights, we, the executive, will be left alone, and they will tell us that everybody has work. So now, everybody should become executive, or all of us will be outside, then the party will run. We are not asking for too much. Anything that you do, please consult the constituency executive. The branch executives are at our neck. They've left the party executive from national to region to constituency. Nothing is working. They've left us just like that. We don't know who did the appointment. And we said we want to sit on the round table to solve issues.
Abdul Razak Mohammed Mutawakil is the Tema Central constituency organizer for the National Democratic Congress. You are listening to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM with me, Charles Osukumevia, in the northern region. The news is live on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East region, we're on Word FM 88.3 in Zwarungu and Boga, 102.7 FM in Boga Tanga. We're also on Gunzang 90.1 FM in Tongo in the Upper East region. In the Upper West region, we're on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura and Pupili 92.7 FM in Wa. And in the Northeast region, the Citi Prime News is on Eagle FM 94.1 in Wale Wale. Still ahead in the bulletin, equipment breakdowns leave only 8 ambulances operational in the Bono region. We have details in a bit. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM across all social media platforms for updates and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from Citi FM. And it's proudly sponsored by Holland Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, Didi Sheto, Goyle, Mini-Me Achumo, and Admi Granite Paste. And it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. This is the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Charles Osukumi. Let's now head to the Bono region because 6 of the 14 ambulances operated by the National Ambulance Service in that region are currently grounded due to mechanical faults. The situation is placing pressure on the remaining vehicles and affecting emergency response times. The Bono Regional Manager for the Ambulance Service, Alfred Kwabnamwa, says the breakdowns are straining both personnel and healthcare delivery across the region.
If we look at Bono region, we're giving 14 ambulances. And if 6 of them, at the beginning of 2025, 8 of them were down with the engine problems. Then we have a support from the Honorable MP of Brooklyn East, and then Honorable MP of Doma East, who came to help us to get engine for Doma East and Brooklyn East ambulance to revive them. So that has been work. So if we look at it, the rest we have to dispatch ambulances far away to where these cars are broken down. But if you permit me, I'll mention areas where we have the difficulties. That is Doma Central. The vehicle has been out of commission. It's not working for about a year now, the engine program. Then we have Tan in Soko, and then we have Bekum West, Jinjene, and then German South, Drobo, and we have Shinyane and Shinyane Airport. These cars are the ones that were moving up and down every day, and by now they are down with engines, so it is really affecting our work. Our cost, operational costs will have increased because we need to repair more of the ones that are working now, and that is affecting our work.
Alfred Kwabnamwam is also appealing for support to repair the faulty ambulances to improve emergency healthcare services across the Bono region.
It is very urgent to have these cars back to help operations because the people in this region, I mean the cities in the region, every day as the statistics go, they're getting more people getting injured, more people having issues of sickness, and we need this ambulance to help to save their life. The few that has left, it is putting more pressure on it. And so because we have more pressure on the few that's left, they will also breaking down soon if we don't get additional support to bring those that have been out of commission or not working for a long time into commission. So it's very urgent. We are calling on everyone that can help us. The state, the NGOs, the benevolent institutions, everyone. But most especially, we pray that the government should get us new ambulances.
You heard the Bono Regional Manager for the National Ambulance Service, Alfred Kwabnamwam. Now, the Ghana Education Service says it will not tolerate indiscipline following reports of a stabbing and an alleged rape incident during the Super Zonal Sports Competition in the Eastern Region. Police have confirmed the arrest of some suspects. A student of Kofrida Senior High Technical School was injured, while a female student from Osino Senior High School is receiving counseling. Head of Public Affairs at the GS, Daniel Fenyim, says those found guilty will face prosecution.
The perpetrators of these crimes, the stabbing and the gang raping, for them, they are in the police custody assisting investigations. If found guilty, the laws of the country will take its due course. But for us, as Ghana Education Service, we are also ready. In fact, we have indicated to the regional director that after the laws of the country, for some offenses, the laws of the country is so interested that it even takes its course. In other words, for those perpetrators who are 18 and above, they might even face imprisonment. And for those who are below, the country has juvenile legal processes that they would also go through. So for us as Ghana Education Service, we have released them to the state for the state to do whatever legal process, take them through whatever legal process that they must go through, whilst we also prepare to discipline them as well.
Well, Daniel Fenny adds that the Ghana Education Service is closely monitoring the ongoing inter-school sports competition in the Ashanti region to prevent any acts of misconduct.
Ever since this happened, we are also following keenly interzonal competition happening in the Ashanti region, currently ongoing. We are also picking some reports of indiscipline. For us as Ghana Education Service, we believe that sports among students is a platform where some talents are nurtured, where students are groomed, and sometimes the students are able to build a career out of these sporting competitions. And so for us, we will not tolerate students using these platforms or this ground to perpetuate indiscipline. And so for us as Ghana Education Service, we have taken these matters very seriously. And for students who might be listening, immediately you commit an offense, the state is so interested in your matter. And so the state will take its due course. The era where students are protected and they are covered even when they are misbehaving is over.
You heard the public relations officer for the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Fenyi. Away from that, the chief executive officer of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, GIADEC, Randolph Chumesi Ankra, has accused the chairman of the Tema-based Valco Workers Union of using his position to push an agenda that does not reflect the general sentiments of the union. According to him, due to Valco's financial struggles, the government plans to divest 70% of the company to private partners to help revive its operations, a move that has been met with strong protest from the workers. Chumesi Ankra maintains that the new arrangement is intended to support rather than disadvantage the workers.
I don't think the union of Valco is not happy. I have a strong reservation.
I spoke to the union chairman.
I think it's the union chairman using his office for a particular agenda. The union, because Omar, we should be very sad if those people who paraded under the tree represent the staff strength of Valco. Then it should be very, very sad as a country.
Why?
Because they are not even up to 100.
That's the sample.
No, but
leaders are leaders.
So, but I'm saying that if indeed the union was speaking, we should have seen them out there in their numbers.
So you think that
we should have seen them out there in their numbers? That's why I don't think that is the union speaking, but people using their offices, and it's very common, using their offices for some of these things. Umaru, I don't think the past governments and the present government has $750 million sitting there just to pump into the retrofitting of Valco.
Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, GIADEC, Randolph Chumesi Ankra, speaking to Marisanda Madu on face-to-face program on Channel 1 TV. Meanwhile, the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, says the government is still in discussions with the leadership of Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana to call off their strike. CTAC has been on strike since November last year over the government's failure to implement a National Labour Commission arbitral award. Appearing before Parliament, Dr. Rashid Pelpo says his ministry and the Education Ministry are working to resolve the matter.
Mr. Speaker, Labour concerns we are confronting today have been a carryover of issues that had not been fully addressed in the past and which we are committed to tackle. Yes, we detected it earlier and were wishing that they would come forward for fuller negotiation until a point when they thought they should go, when they would believe a strike action was going to be the solution to the problem. But in the course of the dialogue, they slip into the strike. And so we are still working on it. It is something we are so concerned about, and we are committed in solving the problems that are posed by them, or that they pose as a challenge to them. Mr. Speaker, 2 days ago, I invited a Labour Commission to my office. We had a long discussion. She told me the efforts she has made and the commitment by leadership of SIGA to go along with them. But I also heard the Minister for Education promising to fulfill the requirements, the demands made by SIDA.
That was the voice of Dr. Rashid Pelpo, the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment. Finally, the Pandai District Security Council in the northern region says calm has been restored to the area following a violent incident. 2 people sustained cutlass wounds on Saturday, February 7, after supporters of 2 chiefs in Pandai clashed over a grave pit. Speaking to Citi News, the District Chief Executive for Pandai, Haruna Abdul Karim, says all issues have been resolved, allowing the road to progress.
About the happenings in Pandai last week, I think for now, in terms of security, tension has been calmed down. Both parties have been spoken to by the police on that same day. I also organized a DASET meeting, which the regional commander was also present at the meeting. He has also spoken to both parties to calm down. He has also advised that nobody should take the law into his hand. If you feel you are being cheated or something like that, the law is there. You pass through the law. They all understood. And since that day, we've not heard of any bad news again. Everything is now down. Camp is down.
So
those who were yet to, they have also received treatment and they are doing well. It's about development. So as we speak, the work is ongoing, and maybe today we'll be able to complete the whole road for the people of Dogo.
Haruna Abdul Karim, the District Chief Executive for Pandai in the Northern Region, ending this edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios here in Accra. For more news, log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for listening.
Citi Prime News. Stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
On 0302-224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.
This season, get ready to meet the Blanksons.